Nick Srnicek, Inventing the Future, Postcapitalism and a World Without Work. Welcome to the captivating world of Inventing the Future, Postcapitalism and a World Without Work by Nick Srnicek. This book summary delves into the limitations of folk politics and proposes a new approach for the left to grapple with the complexities of the present era. With the rise of automation, neoliberalism's stronghold, and a renewed interest in universal basic income, Srnicek challenges the status quo and invites us to ponder a future beyond traditional work. Engaging and thought-provoking, this summary will take you on a journey through the changing landscape of politics, economics, and societal structures. Discover a new perspective on how we can reimagine our future in this rapidly changing world.
Why folk politics fails. The failure of folk politics lies in a short-term vision, personal action over systematic thinking, and emotional appeals over rational ones. Folk politics is a term that refers to ideas and attitudes emphasizing local, direct action, and small-scale approaches to politics. This approach to political action puts feelings above critical thinking and strategy. Examples of folk politics are movements like ethical consumption, student occupations, and Occupy Wall Street. These movements may have received media attention, but they often fail to bring about structural change in the long run. Why is this? Because folk politics is focused on everyday manifestations, not systemic causes. It promotes personal action over systematic thinking. Therefore, folk politics is not a reliable long-term strategy for effecting structural change. In essence, it reacts to government and corporate initiatives instead of guiding the course of history. Folk politics concentrates on single issues and loses sight of the bigger picture. For instance, Live Aid in 1985 raised money to provide famine relief in Ethiopia. However, the group's approach only appealed to people's emotions, rather than their critical and rational minds. Consequently, it led to the Civil War's extension, thereby worsening the famine. The problem with appealing to emotions is that it has no sustainable and long-term strategy or vision. In conclusion, folk politics is not morally incorrect or bad. However, it lacks a sustainable, long-term strategy. For meaningful structural change to happen, rational and constructive actions need to be taken. Folk politics, simplifying complexity. Folk politics is an ineffective approach due to its focus on immediate, self-gratifying goals and its failure to recognize the necessity of longer-term vision. While it simplifies complex global issues, folk politics limits lasting, long-term change. Its appeal lies in its ability to direct energy at concrete, immediate actions, but this bypasses the complex, elusive reality of global relations. By separating everyday experiences from the systems within which we live, we become alienated from them. Conspiracy theories and folk politics provide simple answers to complex issues, but they obscure our own role in the situation at hand and simplify cause and effect relationships. Neoliberalism's rise. Neoliberalism is a political ideology that relies on state influence to sustain a free market capitalist world order. It has infiltrated all aspects of society and has become the norm, making it practically impossible to see any alternative. However, before becoming a behemoth, neoliberalism emerged in Vienna and Chicago in the 1920s and 1930s. In 1938, a transnational organization called the Mont Pelerin Society was formed with the aim of developing and spreading a new type of liberalism. The society included key figures like Friedrich Hayek, Ludwig von Mises, and Milton Friedman, who played a pivotal role in bringing neoliberalism to dominate the global stage. The rise of neoliberalism. Neoliberalism became the dominant political ideology through a carefully planned long-term strategy. Neoliberals constructed policy arguments and pushed them through think tanks, universities, and the media, generating a massive audience for their ideas. Milton Friedman's Free to Choose was a significant work and contributed significantly to the movement's success. The left must learn from neoliberalism's success and strategize in the long term to build an alternative vision for society. Leadership and organization must be more sophisticated, and a positive vision for society must be constructed. The future of labor. The rise of automation and unemployment poses a challenge to the current state of labor. Despite past predictions, job automation is increasing, and between 47 to 80% of jobs could be automated. The service sector is not immune to this trend, and even jobs such as cooking, construction, and stock analysis are at risk. Unemployment is on the rise, while those who do have jobs are working longer hours than ever before. Full automation should be the ultimate goal, and the following parts will explain why. Embracing universal basic income. The impending reality of full automation may lead to job loss, which can be dealt with by embracing the idea of universal basic income, UBI. UBI, which has been explored since the 1960s, provides every citizen with enough money to live on and has gained support from economists, NGOs, and policymakers. With an automated workforce paired with UBI, humanity would be liberated from work and capitalism, allowing people to do whatever they want with their time on Earth. However, a major barrier to UBI is the challenge it poses to the notion of work, which is how most people identify themselves. Despite this, a leftist UBI that is sufficient to live off of and provided to all citizens, universally and unconditionally, can solve the problem of work being a degrading, draining, and stressful necessity for many people.
In summary, Inventing the Future, Postcapitalism and a World Without Work, by Srnicek captures the critical political, social, and economic issues confronting humanity today. The book reveals the inadequacy of folk politics and highlights the strategies employed by neoliberalism to become the dominant global ideology. Srnicek's vision calls for the left to abandon outdated approaches and develop a long-term, strategic outlook in order to effect real change. By understanding and embracing the inevitable automation of jobs and advocating for universal basic income, we can challenge our ingrained beliefs about work and create a more equitable and fulfilling future for all. This engaging book summary has provided a captivating glimpse into a world where capitalism's grip is loosened, and humanity can pursue its passions beyond traditional work.